Well, good evening, everyone. This is Poiette McGill Bromell, your friendly neighborhood mortician. And tonight I'm coming to you with something a little different. You all know I'm always telling you about, uh, you know, issues pertaining to COVID, pertaining to insurance, and pertaining to funeral planning and all that kind of thing. But you all who've been watching me a little longer than the past year, you know that my number one reason for ever even doing a video on Facebook was to tell you about your health. And when every now and then you come across something that is just so awesome that you just gotta tell somebody. And that's what I'm on here tonight. It's 12:09 a.m. Valentine's Day 2021. So I guess this is my Valentine's Day, everybody. But I want to talk to you tonight about a product that is so cotton picking awesome. It's ridiculous. Uh, Back in December, when Victoria and I, my baby girl, were going to Alaska, I got a call from a friend of mine, Dr. Diane Chapman, and Diane and I have done a lot of businesses together, and every time we've done something, we've always found great products that were really good for the body, you know, that were just right on the money. And they kind of sometimes it was just a little hard for us to explain to people, and people didn't quite get it, that kind of thing. So some of those things that I started out with, I'm still using, but I just got out of the business of it because I just didn't feel like I was getting across to people. So this is going to be uh, presented to you as a uh, testimonial, first of all, and then I'm going to go into an explanation of some of the science behind what I'm going to talk to you about. Okay, so the company that I'm telling you about tonight is a company called Cerule. Okay, and basically, Cerule has these four, I guess you can see that these four products, okay, those are the four products I'm going to be talking to you about tonight. And if you never heard of the word or the phrase stem cell, you'll know what a stem cell is before we get finished this video tonight. If you get nothing else out of this video, I want you to understand what a stem cell is and understand why this product is so important for your stem cell production in your body. Okay, so back to December. She called me. She says, "Girl, I want to send you something." She sent me about a 40-page scientific report that I read. And by the time I finished reading that report and she told me about this company, I said, "How can I get some of this stuff?" Because what she exposed me to was what I would classify as the fountain of youth. I did not know. Um, I know a lot about the human body, but I did not know that stem cells were so important to our overall health, but particularly to our health in terms of rebuilding tissue and kind of uh, repairing damage, that kind of thing. And so this is how I'm going to explain it to you. Stem cell, and I'm going to put up a video that's going to explain it better than I could. Okay, so I'm gonna put up a video after my video. But I just want you to hear it from me that I've been using these products since December. And since I've been using these products, I have suffered for years from sciatic pain. I had gotten an accident back when Hugo hit back in '89, and I was hit from the back. Never really got my back properly adjusted, and never really finished. When I started with the treatment, I didn't finish it. Life happens, right? So I ended up with sciatic issues. And then with the nature of my work, I have a lot of standing that I do, a lot of sitting that I do. So I have a lot of compression on my spine, a lot of excessive amount of pressure on my spine. And so what happened was I developed sciatica, and last year I really had a time with it, and to the point that I'm not old, but I'm 52, and I was actually having to roll out of bed because my hips would be hurting so badly. And because of the nature of my work, I do this a lot with a needle through human flesh. Okay, and what started happening was my wrists would swell or they would hurt and ache like a toothache, especially this one, my right hand. And so my chiropractor, he was trying to help me get it straightened back out, and it would just hurt like the devil every time, and he'd have to. I couldn't do like I'm mashing my wrist like this. I could not do this before I started using these products. Okay, sciatic pain was just a was just a standard part of my living. I just had to just push through it, try to ignore it, and that kind of thing. Since I've been using these products, sciatic pain is gone. I had what's called fasciitis um, under my feet. I think that's what it's called. My massage therapist was telling me about it. But I would get out of bed, stand on the floor, and it felt like needles were all in my feet. Kind of like how a diabetic would have neuropathy or whatever. But I'm not a diabetic. But what happened is it was just, I don't know if it's fasciitis or I think that's what he called it. Anyway, it was where the connective tissue in my feet, it was so stiff, and I'd have to actually get my foot on the floor, stretch my foot out, and then the pain would ease up. But meanwhile, every morning, that's what I had to look forward to when I got out of bed. Trying to roll myself out of bed, trying to stand on my feet, and my feet feeling like I had needles sticking in them. And then dealing with sciatic pain throughout the day as I got towards the end of the day. And then, of course, having to deal with my wrist hurting, this kind of thing. So, Diane sends me the report. I sat in the airport in Seattle, read the report. I called her back and I said, "How can I get some of this?" So she sent me a website. I ordered it by the time we got back from Alaska, my products were here. That's it, plantar fasciitis. Thank you, John Thomas. That's what I had, plantar fasciitis. So anyway, I started using the product, and that's immediately what I noticed. The wrist pain was gone. The plantar fasciitis had eased up, and now it is almost completely gone. I still have a little bit, but not nearly as excruciating as it was. And then, most importantly, the sciatic pain was gone. And then I started noticing some other things. I started noticing that I used to have like a lot of brown spots. I still have a few, but I used to have like they were really starting to multiply on my face. And so I started noticing they were clearing up. And I said, what in the world? And so, but I'm just noticing these things. And then, of course, I'm looking at the rest of my face. I'm saying, your face is changing a little bit. Like I had some wrinkles somewhere and I don't know where they went. So, now I get tired enough I can see them again. But I'm just saying, these are the kinds of things that I noticed. And so I, I had to start watching some of the videos, because I had read the report, but I had not seen any videos. So I had Diane, I said, send me some videos. And so she says, go in your back office, girl. They're back there. So I did. And I said, oh, goodness, that is why this is happening to me. Because what I was taking, especially this one product called StemEnhance ULTRA, which is right there. Okay, StemEnhance ULTRA. It actually facilitates the release of stem cells from the bone marrow. And what happens when stem cells, okay, let's talk about when we're 18 and 20 years old. When we're 18 and 20 years old, stem cells come out of the bone marrow into the blood. If we get an injury, the stem cells go out. If it's an injury in your knee and your patella, it will become cells that make up the patella. If you have an injury in your lung, it'll become a lung cell. If you have an injury in your heart, it'll become a cardiac cell. If it's skin, a skin cell. Whatever, pancreas, your pancreatic cell, liver cells. And so a, a stem cell basically has the ability, it's like like you see those videos where people will morph into something. Well, that's what they do. They have the ability to morph into the type of cell where help is needed in the body. So for example, if your heart needs help, say you have cells that are dying or injured in your heart, when these stem cells are released from the bone marrow, they have a homing system built into the DNA, RNA, or whatever of the cell that lets it know to go to the heart, or to go to the lung, or to go to the knee, or to go to whatever is injured in the body. Here's the problem. When you're 18, 19, 20 years old, your blood is flooded with stem cells. So you can readily repair. That's why your skin doesn't sag or look old or whatever when you're that young, because your skin is constantly being repaired by the stem cells. Even if you go and lay out, your skin, repairs itself. The older you get when you're still laying out, that's why your skin sags and looks dry and wrinkly. So anyway, so here we have this product, the StemEnhance ULTRA, that's actually facilitating the release of cells. Now, when you're 20, flooded with stem cells. When you're 50, you have half the stem cells in your blood that you had when you were 18, 20. And by the time we're 65, we have about 15% of the stem cells that we had when we were 18, 20. Okay? And so that would explain entirely why our bodies are having a time healing from falls, healing from injuries, healing from heart attacks, healing from whatever has happened to us, even healing from stress, because stress will damage your organs as well. Is because the stem cells that are supposed to be out in the blood, finding where injury is and going and healing, can't even get out of the bones. Something happens over time where your bones develop a sheath that actually locks the stem cells in. Okay? And so some do get out, yeah, but not nearly the amount that you need to repair the damage that's being done to our bodies as we're getting older. And so that's what causes these age-related illnesses, is the fact that the stem cells are locked up in the bone marrow, inside the bone, and they can't get out at the rate that they need to repair the body. They're getting out, but it's very slow. It's very hard for them to get out of there. Then there's another issue. So let me go back to stem cell enhance. So stem cell enhance breaks down this covering around the bone that is locking the stem cells in so that the stem cells can get out into the blood and do what they need to do to fix the body. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, what happens when you get stem cells out and your blood is messed up? There's a thing in your blood called fibrin. Fibrin is good for you when you cut yourself and you need to heal so you don't bleed to death. That's when fibrin is good for you. But fibrin is not good for you when it's just floating around in your blood, slowing down your your red blood cells and hindering the flow of blood through your body. And that's what excess fibrin does. And the more stressed, the more injury that we experience, the more fibrin builds up in our blood. And so just imagine your red blood cells are trying to uh, flow through the blood or flow through the vessels, and your stem cells are trying to flow with the red blood cells, okay? And then they get caught in a net called fibrin, okay? Just imagine, you're trying to swim and somebody's got you in a net. That's what fibrin is doing inside the body, and that's why so many people experience poor circulation. It's not so much that the vessels are narrowed, although some people have narrowing of their vessels. It's not so much that your heart's not pumping like it should. Your heart could be pumping just fine. But the thing of it is, if there's too much fibrin in your blood, it hinders blood flow. And the result is poor circulation. And when we say poor circulation, we're not just talking about poor circulation of red blood cells. We're talking about poor circulation of red blood cells, leukocytes, and stem cells. Mm, mm, mm. Then your body is going to suffer because the stem cells can't get to where they need to go to do their work. Mm. So they have a little product right here called Plasmaflo, which I'm taking. And Plasmaflo has a lot of stuff in it, but the two main things that are in Plasmaflo that are good for us, those of us who are aging gracefully, is it has two enzymes. One enzyme that breaks down fibrin, excess fibrin, and there's another enzyme that will prevent the production of excess fibrin. It's not to stop your fibrin production because you cut yourself, you want to stop bleeding. But you don't need to have fibrin all throughout your bloodstream, blocking the flow of the things that need to get through your blood, such as your stem cells, such as your leukocytes, such as the red blood cells. Okay? So we're trying to get the spider webs out, okay, with the plasma flow, so that everything that's supposed to flow in that blood can do so. Okay? So I'm taking this product and I'm taking the StemEnhance ULTRA for my to release my stem cells from my bones so they can get out in my blood. And that is why I'm feeling so awesome for the past month and a half on this product. And you all know I can't keep anything good to myself. Okay, last thing. If you know anything about inflammation, you know it's not a good thing. Okay? And if you know anything about inflammation, you know the older you get, the more of it you have. There's one more product. Well, actually, two more. Cyactiv. This right here, it comes from a blue. Well, all of these are blue green algae based products, but this one right here is the one. Cyactiv is from a specialized extract of spirulina, and it is proven to balance and calm the body. Okay. So, like, you know how people with fibromyalgia, just overall pain, arthritic pain, all that kind of stuff, they have constant headaches and this kind of thing. This Cyactiv is to calm the body, calm the inflammation. Okay. Now, I use that, but I fell in love with this because this is called Cyactive Joint. Does the same thing, but it also reconstitutes your joints so that you know how we have people around us who talk about they got bone on bone uh, joint damage. Well, this product, Cyactive Joint, actually helps to rebuild the cartilage. It handles the inflammation. Um, it helps with your to increase your movement. It helps with flexibility. Okay, and these products do a lot of other things that I haven't mentioned here. That's why I want to. That's why I put the video that was professionally done up. I don't want you to take my video as your source of information about it. I'm just giving you my testimony because you know I don't put my mouth out there on something I haven't tried, and I don't stand behind anything that I think is going to be dangerous or unnatural. Um, and what I found with these products, purely natural. Um, they came from Klamath Lake, right out there in Utah. Just beautiful place, a beautiful process in which they harvest the algae and harvest um, the I can't remember the other product, the other thing that comes out of that lake. But the thing of it is, just a beautiful, clean process, testing all along the way, scientifically. Um, they have double-blind placebo studies and all this kind of thing to make sure that every batch of these products is pure, it has in the bottle what it says it has in the bottle, and I'm promising you, ever since I've been using this product, I have been noticing a total change in my body in terms of my mobility, in terms of my level of pain, in terms of my appearance, and that kind of thing. And I have been using, they have some skincare products as well. I've only used one, and that would be the serum. I don't have the brochure for it right now, but they have. But you'll see that on the video that I'm going to put up. Just understand that they have a professionally done video to show you all the products and how they work and that kind of thing. But I just want to let this be my jump off. Let this be the official notification to all my folk that this is what I'm doing now. In addition, I have not stopped using my vitamins and minerals. I have not stopped using my drinking my alkaline water. I have not stopped using my amino acids, my essential fatty acids, my essential fatty acids. I have my same nutritional protocol because you all know that all this food that we eat, the ground is depleted of nutrients, and you got to supplement. So don't stop using your vitamins and minerals, your essential fatty acids, your amino acids, and drinking your alkaline water. But this product is addressing something that those other products will not be able to effectively do, not like this product is doing. I don't have one product in my cabinet that can unlock my stem cells. Okay? Now I didn't rather. Now I do. And it's called Cerule StemEnhance ULTRA. And that product by itself, is worth its weight in gold. But when you combine it with the Plasmaflo and with one of the other, either the Cyactiv or the Cyactive Joint for inflammation, you are going to have an experience like none other. I'm challenging some of you who are really health conscious, like I tend to be, to try this and give your testimony, because we got to get. I got a friend of mine. He sent me, poor child. He sent me a list of the medications that he's on. He sent it to Diane. She sent it to me. And this poor child, I'm gonna count how many medications he's on. One. These are prescriptions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 prescriptions. He's maybe a few years older than me. And then of course he's taking his non-prescription natural products, and he's taking his non-prescription that is not a natural product. He's taking acetaminophen, 650 milligrams, and ibuprofen, 2 times a day. That's crazy. We have got to do something to try and get our people's health back. I'm not saying this is the end all for everybody, but those of you who haven't gotten to this point yet, you don't want to be here. You do not want to be here with 12, 13 prescriptions. Okay? That is no way to live. That is not living. Okay? That's slavery. And so that's all I'm going to say tonight. I'm going to put up the video, and you all judge for yourself, take a look at it, and particularly, like, I have my mother now on the StemEnhance ULTRA and the Plasmaflo, and my mother, I almost lost my mother 2 years ago due to blood clots, or really a surgery that was supposed to try to prevent her from having a stroke, putting a stent in, or whatever the case. But it was a cardiovascular issue that was facing her. Now I know, based upon the research that I've read with these products, why we were having such a time getting her blood regulated, because nobody at the hospital was addressing the fibrin in her blood. And if you don't get the fibrin out, it's going to stay there and gook up the system, and people are going to continue to have high blood pressure, and they're going to continue to develop blood clots and this kind of thing. And we're going to continue to have surgeries and that do not solve a problem, because a surgery, every time you have a surgery, you've got to have fibrin there to close that cut up, right? Fibrin has to be produced to close that cut up, and cholesterol, particularly in the vessels, is going to go there to patch that artery so that it will not come back open. Cholesterol, okay? So that's what cholesterol is supposed to be good for you, right? But then the bad cholesterol sticks to that cholesterol. So it's like, where are we going with this? You can't cut your way to health. You can't drug your way to health. You got to clean the system up and feed the body what it needs so that it can heal itself. That, my dear hearts, is what I'm hoping you will find with Cerule. Cerule is giving you the tools to self-heal. And I thank you for listening. And I pray that you will check into this. And I will go ahead after this video and upload the video that explains the products. And I will also attach the website where you can order the products if you'd like to. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. This is Poiette McGill Bromell, your friendly neighborhood mortician, hoping that you will stay well and do right by yourself. Do right by you. And if you do right by you, everything else should fall in place. But you've got to start with yourself. You cannot help anybody else if you don't take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. All right. Love you. Happy Valentine's Day.